Good morning. Welcome to Daily Devotions with Pastor Joe. I'm Pastor Joe, and today we're looking back into Psalm 10, where it says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, but the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He crouches and humbles himself, and the poor, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore doth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, Thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress." This is a really encouraging psalm in some ways. A lot of the psalms, you look at it and it's really David crying out to God, talking about how evil people are and how he's just waiting on God to have vengeance and to strike out and to finally put under all wickedness and all of the evildoers who hate God. And this is one of those where he's talking. He says it seems like God is afar off. He's hiding himself in the times of trouble. The wicked and their proud persecute the poor. They boast of their desires. They bless the covetous, who the Lord hates, abhors. The wicked through pride will not seek after God. God is not in his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight, it says. He says he's never going to be moved because there's never going to come something strong enough to move him. He's never going to have adversity or something too strong for him to take. And, there's a lot of people out there who think that they're too tough to be in trouble, to be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is nothing but mischief and vanity. He sits in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places, he murders the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He's crying out about how wicked some people are in this world today, because there's a lot of wickedness. And that was back in David's day, but we read it and we say, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of lies and a lot of deceit and a lot of fraud and a lot of cursing and a lot of people who are lying in secret to murder, and a lot of people who are hateful of the poor and trying to take advantage of them. Lying in secret as a lion in his den. Lying in wait to catch the poor. He catches the poor and draws them into his net, catches them in a way that ruins them. I consider the net that the poor is caught in. There's a lot that the poor people get caught in this world. As I've heard Dave Ramsey has said in the past, the lottery is nothing more than a tax on poor people. It's a net that gets them drawn in, wishing and hoping for something great. And wickedness in high places has just put the lottery system in place to do that, to ruin people's lives. But arise, O Lord, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. All right? Wherefore does the wicked condemn God? Why do they feel that they have any authority or any reason to stand against God and to say, hey, God's not going to do anything. God hides his face, ha ha ha. He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. There's a lot of people out there in the world who live like there's never going to be an end, who live as if God isn't going to come back and judge the world, even though he's promised that he will. And it says here, God has seen it. He beholds the mischief. He sees it. He sees the spite and requites it with his hand. He takes care of it. He's going to hold on to the situation. He's going to take care of the situation. We may not see it. We see a lot of evil going on in the world and a lot of people who seem to prosper, but God has that under control. And there will come a day where he takes care of, once and for all, the wickedness and evildoers out there. And then God cares about the poor. He commits them to himself. He's a helper of the fatherless. Those who are down and out and have no helpers in life, they have God to turn to, and he's going to give them the help and the strength that they need. Then David asks God to break the arm of the wicked and evil man. Or in other words, to cut off his ability to continue reaching into the world and doing evil. Seek out his wickedness until you find none, until there's no more wickedness to find in this world, because the Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. He's looking forward to that, because obviously it hasn't yet happened. Lord, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear. So I'd encourage you today to think about this, to kind of dwell on where David's coming from here. David is coming from a place where he is serving God, and he sees all of the wickedness in the world. Maybe even in his own kingdom, he's looking out there and seeing people committing sins. He's hearing about it, judging day after day about all of this evil that's being done. And he cries out to God, and he says, God, will you just take care of it already? And we're not necessarily wanting God to just destroy and tear down the world and to kill the sinners. Instead, we want God to help to rescue them. But there does come a point where we feel a little bit tired of dealing with all of the bad that's going on in the world around us. I mean, we've even had just some horrible news this past week or two in our country here in America that there's so much wickedness, there's so much evil out there in this world, and we need to see God taking care of it, but we've got to do our part as well. Remember that the Lord is king forever and ever. No matter how much the bad and evildoers prosper out there, no matter how much it seems like the poor are taken advantage of, no matter how much it seems that you're in a place that you just can't make ends meet, and it's like, wow, man, I'm really struggling. When you lean on God and trust in him, he is the king. He is the one who created the universe. He has all control and all power. If we allow him to make a difference in our lives, we pray to him, we come to him and say, God, I need help with this. We rely on him, lay our burdens on him. He's going to take those burdens off of us. He's going to provide for your needs. I'm not going to say that he's going to give you a new Lamborghini, but he's going to supply your needs. You're not going to go and just suffer for the rest of your life and die a miserable death. If you're relying on God, at the very least, he's going to provide you with the peace until the day that you come to meet with him. But I sincerely believe that he's going to meet your needs, even a lot of the physical needs, very well and very easily. But don't take that as a reason to not do your part, to not go and work and try to make a difference, because the Bible itself says if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. God doesn't want us to just be lazy bums who just use him like a gumball machine, a gumball dispenser. It's not like that. But God being the king, David looks forward to the day that he will break the arm of the wicked, that he will send them to ruin, that wickedness will be no more in this world. And we know that day is coming. It's coming quicker and closer every day. It can't be coming further. It's coming closer every day. And I can't wait until the day that God really takes out and seeks out the wickedness until it's gone. Seeks it out and gets rid of it until there's no more left. So if you today face that, and you face the wickedness out there in the world, and you're facing cursing, swearing, lying, and deceit out in the workplace, I encourage you to look to God and to trust, because he is the one who you can rely on. He's heard the desires of the humble. He's heard He's leaned his ear in to hear. He judges the fatherless and the oppressed, and the man of the earth may no more oppress. And God's going to take care of you. Whatever you're facing today, trust in the Lord. Lay your burdens on him and just put your trust in him today. Rely on him. He's a better helper than anybody else you could ever meet in this world. And I really do believe that because I've really known him to meet my needs in my life. So if you have any comments, any stories to tell, I'd encourage you to leave those in the comment section down below. If you enjoy hearing about the scriptures, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications. Otherwise, you won't get notified when new videos come out every morning. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. God bless, and I hope you have an excellent day in the Lord. I hope you find him to be faithful and sweet the whole day through. Thanks again for joining me for Daily Devotions with Pastor Joe.